lets it off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get
He missed the complete that. He's crazy
Side by
stuff.
side, Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through, he tags Richard Eck.
It feels like the first time, like the very first time here in Richmond, Virginia. The cars are unloaded and tuned, the drivers prepared. Championship dreams and trophy in sight. Round 6 is coming your way, so get ready for the action. And Saturday night short track racing in America with the Bootleg Racing League on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Grip 80 at Richmond International Raceway with the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series. I'm back this week, Sean Ambrose here in the booth with me tonight, fresh off the World Cup of iRacing, Chris Scala in the GSRC virtual production truck, twisting and tweaking the dials, Joe Peak. Our man Dougie Beard handling the cameras tonight in amazing Technicolor, streamed into your home through the worldwide wonder of the internet. Well, last week, you were here with us. 13 Lawrence Towing Outlaw SK Modifieds took the green last Saturday night at Langley Speedway. And the action got started early when Matt Hoos would snag the lead away from John Holcomb. Trouble, though, would come early in the night's first caution with flies shortly after that. But the race would get restarted on lap 10. And 3 laps later, J.R. Shepard puts the move on Matt Hoos. Hoos gets a little loose there off the turn, and that moves JR up to the front. He never looked in his mirror again for the rest of the race. Donnie Moore chased JR for most of that the remaining laps there, and just short of JR, just short of wrecking JR, could not get it done. Donnie did throw out a valiant effort, but in the end it was JR Shepard stealing his second win here in Season 4 with the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modifieds. Chris, J.R. Shepard having quite a run, but tell us a little bit about Richmond. This is the first time for the Lawrence Towing guys. Let's talk about the track.
Well, you might feel like a little foreigner going into this racetrack tonight for the Bootleg Outlaw Modified Series, but yeah, the top 3, they have been the strong 3 guys. J.R. Shepard, Matt LaVenture, and of course, wow, I'm having these kind of issues again. Donnie Moore, there's the third name I was having. But those 3 guys have been the guys. The last 2 weeks they finished 1, 2, 3, and of course we come to Richmond tonight. A 3/4 mile track in Henrico County, Virginia. This track, once known as the Atlantic Rural Exposition Fairgrounds, we now know it as the Richmond International Raceway. 7 tenths of a mile, or 3/4, I guess, if you really want to break that down, of a mile track. 12 degrees, actually 14 degrees of banking in all 4 corners. This track used to be a straight-up oval. Now it's a tri-oval with the start-finish line actually closer to turn 4 as it is turn 1. But this track with these modified, it's almost like running wide open in these cars because of the downforce these cars have and the restrictors and the wicker and stuff. You're going to see very close racing. The bottom is going to be the way to go because these cars are barely slowing down. I mean, you're hitting 125 mile an hour into the corners and you're slowing to about 110 to 115. The tires, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that tonight. But Richmond, a very fast track for these modifieds. They already say that the track races like a super speedway and looks like a short track. You're going to see why in the modifieds here very shortly. And as a matter of fact, let's take a lap around the Richmond International Raceway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin around the Richmond International Raceway in the GSRC SK Modified. Richmond is a fun little short track, very popular on the NASCAR side of things, but it's a whole lot of fun in this SK Modified. Hot lap, aiming for that yellow line, let it roll through the center of the corner, back out of the gas, out towards the wall. Really not out of the throttle a whole much. You can see down here turn 3, out of the throttle just a bit, back into the gas already, and then full throttle right at about corner exit. You're not really going to have to feather it out there too much to the wall, but you can run it right down in here into turn 1 again. Hard onto the brakes, let the front of the modified rotate, catch maybe a little bit of the apron, help it turn a little bit, back out onto the back stretch, down into turn 3, same situation. Let it roll in here, gas it up on entry, and then get on out of that corner. Down this very long front stretch for a short track, just letting it roll out here. Once again, back down into the corner, yellow line, full throttle, let it corner and get on out of that corner. Down the back stretch for the final time today, into turn 3, down towards the bottom, let it go, power it up, swing it out here to the wall for good measure, and then across the line, and that is going to complete our track guide around the Richmond International Raceway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
And that's a lap around the Richmond International Raceway. And let's check in with Sean, who's down on the track. He is with the guest and also pole sitter tonight, Ralph Connor.
Ralph Connor, driver of the number 9 Stanley Tools SK Modified. Ralph, you got the speed to keep her up there tonight?
I believe so. If I just don't make any mistakes and hit my marks right, I think I can stay up there tonight.
Did you run the super lates just before?
No, I ran the limited late and did pretty good at first, and then made a mistake and didn't finish very good.
All right, now you got a few laps here in the modified here in practice. How wide open were you and for how long?
I ran about 5 laps wide open before I started using the brake getting in, so it's pretty fast.
So what's the trick? What do you think is going to be the answer to keeping her up front tonight?
Keeping her on the bottom and hug that yellow line.
Is that really where the speed's at? Is down there on that yellow line tonight, huh?
It is for me.
Well, Ralph, I hope we get a chance to talk to you again, buddy. I'd love to see you bring her into victory lane. We could use a fresh face up there on the podium tonight.
That'd be a nice thing to accomplish this evening.
All right, Ralph, we'll let you get back in the car. Go get him, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, and that was Ralph Connor, driver of the number 9 Stanley Tools SK Modified. And that interview was brought to you by our sponsor tonight, Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date on what's happening in iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Chris, we got quite a points battle going on up here at the top, but boy, outside of the top 3, things are really starting to separate.
Whew, yeah, they are. It's a 3-man show so far. I made the comment to Soup last week, who, by the way, give him a shout out for helping out last week. Great job, Mr. Zahn. But I said it couldn't get any tighter. I was wrong. Donnie Moore leads the points by 2 over Matt LaVenture. J.R. Shepard is 3 behind in 3rd. I want to say you can't get any tighter, but there's a chance we could walk out of here with a 3-way tie tonight. We shall see. But 4th place, John Holcomb moving up. And Ben Wolfson had a terrible night at Langley last week. He is now 18 points back in the 5th position, but is by far a 3-horse race right now going to the checkers.
Well, we have seen close points battles before in the Lawrence Towing SK Modifieds, and I think this season 4 is winding down to be absolutely no different, Chris. But I'm sure we've got a few new viewers with us tonight in the iRacing Live portal and with us on GSRC and on YouTube. And tell everybody a little bit about how we do things here in the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modifieds.
Well, it's your traditional short track Saturday night, and that's what we have here at the Richmond International Raceway in the SK Modified cars. We run fixed setups. We invert the grid of the top 8 from the previous week, which was Langley last weekend, which means Ralph Connor starts on the pole, and Lowell Jewell will start second. J.R. Shepard will start 8th. How about this? Shepard 8th, Moore 7th, LaVenture 6th. That really ought to make it very, very interesting tonight. We'll get to that later. 80 laps tonight, 60 miles. You'll get one fast repair, 100% fuel. The tires you show up with at the track are the tires you're leaving with on the car, so make sure you do take care of those. There isn't an incident cap or anything. Double file restarts. And, of course, the weather is dynamic at Richmond. So, shaping up for a very good race weather tonight, 79 degrees, so a very warm night in Richmond, Virginia. Track temp about 79 also. So it sounds like a good night for racing.
You know, Chris, and with today we've got the World Cup of iRacing going on, and we talk about the diversity in those fields. Let's talk a little bit about the diversity here in the Bootleg Racing League. I see drivers from New England, Club New England being represented, Mid-South, Pennsylvania, Indiana, New York, Florida, Michigan, the Virginias, Midwest, the Great Plains, Carolina, Club Ohio. That's it. I mean, just what a mix of drivers from just all over basically the central United States and east. We need to mix in some guys from the West Coast, I think, here at some point, so we'd be complete, at least in North America.
It's a work in progress, but it's a great group of just people from different areas of the United States and stuff, and that's what just makes a great series. Matter of fact, I know usually, I know there's one driver, I believe, that's over in the England area that usually comes over and races. I'm trying to remember the name. Lucas Stenziano, I believe, lives over in England. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Sean, but just having a great group of guys here, great racers from all over the United States and things. You got to remember, back in the NASCAR glory days, everybody was from North Carolina. Now look at it. You got guys from California. You got guys from Texas. You got guys from Florida. You got guys, I believe it's 2 Sprint Cup drivers come from North Carolina. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Austin Dillon. Everybody else is from outside of North Carolina. So it just shows you the different trends that you have. But with this Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series, same thing. Yeah, Midwest, Mid-South, Indiana, you mentioned all over the United States, mostly east of the Mississippi River, but for the most part here, a good group of racers here. And I want to talk about these times. I'm going to share numbers with you here, Sean.
Let's get to that, because we were talking about that.
And what I was talking about off the air, and I said, guys, you're going to see cars on top of another when it comes to times. Matt LaVenture's fastest, 21.906. Shepard, 21.945. Wolfson, 21.966. Moore, 21.966. Tied. Fifth place, Ernie Brown, 21.992. So that's the top 5 are separated by less than that right there.
Yeah, J.R. Shepard just got a little faster, actually.
Yeah, you did.
Now down to a 9.19.
you can't click your fingers quicker than those 5 cars crossing the line.
Yeah, and this race is now. Please note tonight we're going 80 laps, not traditional 100. We usually do. We're on a 3/4 mile track, literally almost like a speedway, a super speedway for the SK Modifieds, and with the speeds they're turning, I don't think you'll notice the difference in the time it takes to get this race done this evening. This is fast and furious. A lot of places to put the car. But I think we pretty much know the really, really fast place to be is stuck like Chuck down there on that yellow line, Chris.
Yeah, that's going to be the place to go. You get off that yellow line, you're going to get passed. Simple as that. So you got to be aware of just where you are on the track and just be careful what you're doing, because, I mean, you get off that yellow line, you could get freight trained. And I think tonight you're going to see a lot of action, too, because people are going to want to get to the bottom. People are going to get anxious to make moves, and I think you could see some contact tonight, and I would not be surprised to see some bruised egos and stuff out there tonight.
Now, one of the things about Richmond that's always presented a problem for me is the exit off of 4. Just always seems like an adventure and just hanging onto the car. You're just on the ragged edge getting out of 4, making that dash for a start-finish line. It's really not far down the track.
You know, and it's funny, in a normal car like a Gen 6 car, I could see turn 4 being an issue, and you're right. It's because it's you come off the corner and it goes to flat, but you're almost in a corner the whole entire front straightaway, so it's kind of hard to get traction. These cars here, I want to focus more turn 2, where the track narrows up coming out of turn 2. That's going to be the place to watch tonight as they grid.
Let's do it. Let's get this grid going and talk about who's starting where. We're going to start with Ralph Connor, our pole sitter in the Stanley Tools SK Modified. Lowell Jewell going to start second tonight, Chris.
Yeah, John Holcomb going to start inside of row number 3, looking for a good bounce back after last week. He'll start alongside Jeff Sharp.
Mike Allen going to start 5th tonight. Matt LaVenture on the outside on the row 3.
These are the 3 guys to watch. LaVenture, Donnie Moore on the inside of row number 4 alongside J.R. Shepard, last week's winner.
And row 5 going to come up with Mike Holloway and Ben Wolfson.
Then take a look at 11th and 12th, row number 6, Matt Hoos, Philip Temples, who had a very, very bad night last week at Langley.
And Mr. Lawrence towing himself, Chris Eade, starting 13th, Randy Tesser, 14th.
Matt Shinosky, Big Joe Hatzard there on the outside of row number 8.
And this will be the end of the field here. 18 cars strong tonight. Ernie Brown will start 17th. Chip Dicker, 18th.
Got a good group of guys here for 80 laps, and I know Sue put me on the spot last week. I went different, and I paid for it. Shouldn't have did that. But,
well, I'll tell you what, based on these practice times I've seen, I think picking somebody going to be pretty hard right now. This field is going to get anxious and spread out quick as they come down the backstretch. The lights are out on the Ford Mustang pace car.
I'm not sure about the whole spread out part. We're going to see, though. I think we're going to see some really tight racing here. Then, of course, the pace car fools us, and we get a whole nother lap still.
Yes, we do. There we go. Soup and I love getting fooled by that pace car. It did it to us again. Welcome to Richmond, Virginia.
That's funny.
Hey, it happens. It's okay. So we've got a moment here. Chris, are you a betting man?
All right, that you're gonna throw me under here. I'm gonna go different tonight, and I'm gonna try to make the sponsor happy tonight because you know they do pay our bills and keep us job security pretty good here. John Holcomb is my pick tonight.
All right, we'll take it. John Holcomb gonna have to keep her up there up front. He's gonna have to deal with the likes of Donnie Moore and J.R. Shepard behind him. Now they make their way through 3 and 4. Here we go. The Mustang pace car is off. Ralph Connor going to lead them off. Going to just wait for that green flag. It looks like going to slow him down. Here we go. Well, it's a really slow start. Connor finally gets away. The field behind him. Lowell Jewell, John Holcomb getting it cranked up, heading into 1 at Richmond, Virginia for the first time. And the Lawrence towing SK Modifieds. Oh, car off the track. He's off the track already, coming off the turn.
I saw the pace car.
That was Mike Holloway.
Oh, Holloway, okay.
Yeah, yep. Holloway got trouble getting started there. Does not bring out the yellow. Connor still up front, hanging on. John Holcomb hot on his tail. Lowell Jewell settled into 3rd. Jeff Sharp stuck all the way up on the outside. J.R. Shepard getting down below. Matt LaVenture just up front, all over Donnie.
Shoot, shoot. That's that train going by Sharp right now, unfortunately. That's how fast his bottom line is. It's just, Sharp's climbing the wall.
Oh, that's never good. That's never good, especially early in this race.
Look how tight this field is.
Ralph Connor still hanging on up here. Here comes John Holcomb.
Donnie Moore making a look.
John looking pretty dialed in right now here early in this race. Working lap 4.
You know, one thing I should mention again, Sean, if you are watching this on chat tonight, as look like Mike Allen got the wall. If you're watching on chat tonight on the YouTube and the GSRC channel, make sure you do message us. We always watching and always more than welcome to answer questions you might have.
Holcomb looking to the inside, going down into 1. He got under him across the start-finish line. Holcomb going to take it away. Ralph Connor back to 2nd.
And Mike Allen being shuffled out.
Yeah, and it looked like LaVenture did the shuffling. Allen now stuck up. Donnie Moore almost contact with Lowell.
Rule number 1, don't wreck the boss.
Don't wreck the boss. And there goes Donnie just below Lowell. Now the one stuck up on the top side. Allen just behind Lowell up there. Oh, Allen, contact with JR Shepard. JR Shepard in the wall. Shepard on his lid hits the wall hard. Ouch.
That could be big.
That's going to be huge. Well, that escalated quickly. Let's look at it on the replay. Yeah, I think Mike got some contact with the wall and bounced him off across the center of the track there, and he collects J.R. Shepard. He's trying to get around. J.R. climbs the wall there, goes straight up on his lid. Let's ride on board with J.R. now.
And a very crucial thing here, Shepard had to toe to pit road. He's going to lose laps.
That was contact. Mike clipped the wall up there and sent him across the track. Collects JR, and that's now you're going to get that.
Actually, Sean, looking at this, what I'm seeing, Mike Allen, I think, was trying to make a run on Lowell Jewell, and because you see the run he's got there, and they're almost 3 wide into the corner, but JR was there. That's kind of what I'm seeing from this angle. Yeah, he did clip the wall, but it almost looks like he comes down to try to get a run on Lowell Jewell.
Well, that's certainly something to be considered. Now, JR's going to get that fast repair. This does bring up something that happened once, though. We've seen here in the SK Modifieds, we've seen him go on their lid and them lose fuel.
I believe Donnie Moore was that guy.
I believe Donnie was that guy. So I wonder what kind of shape JR is going to be in here with the fuel when he gets back out on track.
Well, he's still on pit road right now, getting towed. He's about to go a second lap down. This is huge right now for this series championship.
Could he have forgotten he got his free repair?
Well, no, because you got to tow to pit road. That's going to take a good minute or so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Forgot he was on his lid there. He had to take a tow, had no choice. Well, let's talk about where we're at here early in this race. Working lap 9 right now, the top 10. John Holcomb, Ralph Connor, Donnie Moore, Lowell Jewell, Matt LaVenture, Ben Wilson, Matt Hoos, Philip Temples, Randy Tesser, and Jeff Sharp. Complete your top 10 here, Chris, and we go around. We'll start working on lap 10, 70 big ones to go.
Yeah, big mover in the race so far. Chip Dickert started dead last, shotgun on the field up to 11th.
Well, it looks like the iRacing gods have given them their blessing, and J.R. Shepard is back on the track finally.
Yeah, he's going to be 2 laps down when he gets the green flag here.
All right, and they have now started to form back up side by side for this double file restart. First one of the night. We're heading into 3. Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to peel off. Now, when we started this race, Ralph Connor, he waited. He waited for that green flag, and then he waited a little more. What's John Holcomb going to do? We're about to see. And there's no waiting by John Holcomb. He is gone, baby. Let me play up here in the clean air. That's John Holcomb. That's his attitude.
Got that inside line
on it.
LaVenture there, too.
Oh, Connor with trouble there, getting off the turn out of 4. Opens the door for Lowell Jewell. Oh! Contact with Jewell. Can he hang on? Oh, no. Ben Wilson gets him. Oh, at the end of the pit lane.
No
He's
caution.
in the barriers. Connor got shoved out into the barriers there and does not bring out the caution.
On replay, you're going to see, I think Lowell just misses the corner and slides right up into him, unfortunately. As you see, Matt Hoos moving up to 4th, the winner from the Super Late Models earlier.
Hoos moving up to 4th, and I got to tell you, Donnie Moore moving up on John Holcomb. Holcomb getting a little bit too much in the apron there off the turn. They were out of 2, and Holcomb was just wicked loose.
Good job by Holcomb to play defensive there and kind of block the move on Moore. Now, it's going to give him a bad angle off the corner, but he's still going to keep the run. It looks like keep the lead here.
Yeah, for how long? Donnie Moore really looking to make a run on him here. LaVenture back there just lurking looking for an opportunity to follow.
That's gonna hurt him.
Boy, door is open. And Donnie closes it right up. Here comes LaVenture down to the bottom, though. LaVenture was looking for an opportunity to sneak in there on Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore shuts that down. That's a good restart there, Chris.
Yeah, this has been great so far. It's just been watching Holcomb's line there. He entered very wide into turn one that last time by. He lost a lap and lost the lead. And he slid up the track a little bit and that allowed Donnie to fill the gap. Now he's got to keep that bottom because LaVenture, he is ready to pounce. Oh, and Low Jules.
Here goes. Here goes LaVenture.
Low Jules spinning up too. No caution yet. He got the outside line. Yep. I think we're
LaVenture,
going to be
Donnie
okay.
Moore fighting. LaVenture gets the advantage. We'll bring up the replay here real quick.
Donnie Moore crossed him over.
Number 5. Oh, Lowell just clips the wall, sends it right down there to the bottom. Does a good job of getting on the brake and just staying down there while everybody gets by. Back to the race up front. Donnie Moore fighting with Matt LaVenture back and forth for the last 2 laps. Crossing each other over, Chris.
That's what this is all about. Yeah, LaVenture got the lead. Moore crossed him over off 4, and they've been side by side like this for the last 2 laps. John Holcomb's like, please, can I find somewhere to go? And look at Matt, who's to the outside?
Yeah, but you look at these 4. Donnie Moore, LaVenture, Holcomb, Moose.
LaVenture back for the lead.
It's what Soup and I like to call the lap de sure.
It's like the 76 Southern 500 all over again with Petty and David Pearson.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can handle 60 laps in this.
Hey, we were saying it all day, even during the World Cup broadcast. Richmond is going to be something
Moose
tonight.
to the bottom there on Holcomb. Into 1, gets it done. Holcomb's just not fighting down there on the bottom. He's not even trying to defend it. He's just letting these guys have it.
Well, he realizes, too, you got 60 laps to go. You got plenty of time. No reason to sit down on the door of somebody and get them loose or whatever.
Boy, you don't want to lose touch.
No, you don't.
These guys, you really don't, because hey, look, just right behind you, you got Philip Temples and Jeff Sharp getting into the picture.
Just remember this, though, Sean. How you race me is how I'm going to race you.
Oh yeah, and these drivers have a long memory.
We do.
Most of them do. Hey,
What happened yesterday?
Quick Lucas Stinziano report. He's Hispano-American, actually, not.
Oh.
Yeah, he's down south, not overseas.
See.
Gracias. All right, Matt LaVenture brings it back across, and lap 22, he is your leader now and has been for several laps after taking it away from Donnie Moore, starting to kind of open things up a little bit, about a half a second up the road.
That kind of shocks me a little bit.
He's got pretty good pace right now, and nobody in front of him.
You're right on board with Matt Hoos here, trailing Donnie Moore to 3rd place car.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure there on Donnie. Got his old friend Matt Hoos right behind him. Philip Temple's making small gains. Him and Jeff Sharp really getting into the battle now. They've closed things up, and they've got a little conga line there going. The next battle behind him is going to be Ben Wolfson, just in front of Randy Tesser and Joe Hassert. Big Joe Hassert to you.
How about Randy Tesser there? One name we haven't mentioned much. I believe his 2nd or 3rd start in this series, running up in the 8th position here behind Ben Wolfson. Doing a good job, just logging some laps.
Yeah, Big Joe off to a pretty good start. Hasn't found a lot of luck yet. He's still new, still trying to get this thing figured out, but looking pretty solid here at Richmond to start things off. Ernie Brown back there in 10th.
Ernie doing a great job here. Remember, 8th is that spot you want to be. If you're not going to be able to win that race or get a good top 5, you want to at least try to get to 8th. As we got a battle for 3rd. Holcomb under attack from Philip Temples, who started back towards the back. See, Temple started 12th. He's up to 5th. And who's going for...
I was just going to say, I told you Temples was really starting to kind of find his way here. Seems to be digging Richmond right now. But look what's happening up front, man. LaVenture now, I just said he was a half a second. Oh, Hoos making a move to the inside of Donnie Moore, heading into 3.
You wonder if Donnie Moore is holding up Hoos. Hoos getting a little loose there. That rhymed.
Boy, Hoos just took that away from him. Matt Hoos up to second, but Matt LaVenture a second and a half plus up the track.
Matt LaVenture did not forget his big boy shoes tonight.
He did not. And I'll tell you what, man, he's going to be awful hard to catch. This thing stays green.
Well, that time by a 3.58 for LaVenture, a 3.25 for Hoos. The Hoos was 3/100ths faster, which isn't much.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Hoos got quite a run on Donnie Moore when he got by him, and hasn't really looked back since. Donnie must have been pressing pretty hard, maybe backing off just a bit here now and trying to save it just a bit. We've still got quite a ways to go. I know the tire's not a tremendous factor here tonight, but you still can't abuse it. That will not pay dividends for you here.
Temples almost got underneath Holcomb, but no, you do not want to abuse your tires. You want to keep them under you still, though. I mean, you're pretty much running wide open. I mean, you're looking at you're on board with John Holcomb right now. I mean, you're hitting speeds of, whoa, who's got the wall open?
Here comes Donnie Moore, going to try and take advantage of that. And he does. Oh, Hoos doesn't want to give Holcomb anything. He just shuts the door on him.
I was going to say, you're seeing top speeds about 127 there from Holcomb into turn 1. And they're slowing down to about 108 I saw there in the corner. So not much speed differential. You're almost wide open around this track.
Yeah, these cars just so cool under the lights, and you talked about that speed. It adds to the cool factor of what we're watching. I think Richmond should be a track they consider keeping on the schedule. When I was going through my notes today, I found it actually kind of hard to believe that they hadn't raced here before, and I kept thinking back, and I had to shoot Lowell an email and even confirm that with him, because I didn't see it in any of the previous season's results. But again, it's already one of my favorites. I love what we're seeing here.
Well, we need to get him to Bristol next. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I wasn't sure if they had been to Bristol before or not, but I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, we need to put these cars on Bristol. That needs to be a consistent thing. I love Bristol.
Yeah, just about anything is fun at Bristol. The SK Modified, pretty fun there. I got to be honest with you, the Tour Modified, a little bit better suited for Bristol. Has better legs there, if you know what I mean.
I got you. Has Temples underneath Holcomb.
And
he's going to take the spot. Holcomb falling back. Jeff Sharp into the picture.
Yeah, it's getting very uncomfortable.
And Sharp did a little bit of a rail slide into turn 1 earlier in this race, and he's hanging on there pretty well.
Sharp got all the way down to the apron. The car started to drift a little bit on him up the track.
Our director, Joe Peak, does bring up a good point there, Sean. How about a F1 race at Bristol? I don't know if that'd go well.
Yeah.
DRS down the back straightaway.
The caution's out.
Oh, right here in the back straightaway. One car up in slow car.
Chris Eads.
Low Jewel involved too.
Chris Eads with some pretty good damage on his SK. Let's see what happened. There's Chris. Just got wicked loose, and Lowell Jewel with nowhere to go bangs up his SK Modified. Let's get another angle here. Let's go on board with Lowell Jewel.
This is on board the ouch camera, because when this is all done, they're going to say ouch.
Tough break for Lowell. Lowell's got all that momentum going right there, and too late to make a decision when that car just starts to turn in front of you like that.
Yeah, it's just, you got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go in that kind of situation there. So, unfortunate break as we're just about to halfway, and no wave arounds in this one, because I believe the wave around was the guy involved. which surprises me. I would think maybe J.R. Shepard would get the waiver on here, but either way, caution out for the second time. We got 41 laps to go, and Jewel on pit road. Let's see if anybody else comes to pit road here. Obviously, you can't change tires, so I don't see really the point of any of these cars. It looks like nobody is coming to pit road. What does shock me, though, is J.R. Shepard not being the waiver round. I would think he would have gotten it. But you look at the top 10 right now: Matt LaVenture, Donnie Moore, Matt Hoos, Phil Temples, John Holcomb, Jeff Sharp. You got Ben Wolfson there, Big Joe Hazard 8th, Ernie Brown 9th, Mike Holloway there in the 10th position.
Did you say Big Joe Hazard was in 8th?
I did.
You know, I know Big Joe Hazard pretty well. I seem to remember he likes starting up front. He seems to do his best work for the front of the field. Would be interesting if Big Joe finished in that spot this evening and got a shot to start one of these races from the front. Could be a podium possibility for that guy.
And that would be some momentum he could get if something like that were to happen, because Joe's had his issues here in the first couple of races of his season. But if he's able to get a good bounce back and a good finish here, that could be something he needs.
I honestly think the racing gods are just pissed off at him, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. I'm going to be frank about that. Joe is, you know, he likes to buck the system and anger the gods every now and then. I believe he's done that. So,
well, then I think you and Joe should be teammates.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, you got to be impressed with Matt LaVenture, though. That guy taking the lead, leading 25 laps so far, and not only that, he just said bye Felicia to the field and stretched him, which shocked me because I didn't think it was possible to pull away.
Yeah, and the Frankenstein racer certainly showing that he loves this track right now.
And they must have heard me on the broadcast, because J.R. Shepard is going to get the waiver on here, so he'll be one lap down now. These guys better hope they don't wreck.
Yeah, and we'll let JR back into this thing now.
Yeah, I've never seen an angry JR, and if an angry JR drives better than a happy JR, oh boy.
Yeah, he's going to get a shot here, but you know, we haven't seen anybody come from quite that far back yet. Now, Philip Temples has really done some great work early here in this race, up to 4th, starting all the way back there in 12th. But that's really only one of your really, really big movers. Well, Joe Hazard and Ernie Brown have both done a good job of getting up here. But Chris, we're getting ready to get restarted here. We're just past the halfway point. I expect to see some more battling for position and some things to shake up here on this restart.
I agree with you there. Had a nice long run there. And usually there's one long run in each bootleg race, so don't be surprised to see a quick caution here. And you know, J.R. Shepard's like, I would be totally fine with that. So we'll see as green's out.
It's out. Here we go. LaVenture to the inside. He's got it clean in 1. Donnie Moore tucks it right down in there. Matt Hoos solid in 3rd. Philip Temple's trying to take it away from John Holcomb up on the top side of the track.
Temples.
Oh boy, they're wheel to wheel.
That was close.
Yes, it was.
Holcomb going to try to get that 4th position. Now you see Ben Wolfson going to take 6th. Look back there, Ernie Brown and Hazard. All these guys side by side. Temple's not giving any room.
John Holcomb still battling the Temples. I mean, it's so close. You couldn't get another car between them right now, that's for sure. Ben Wolfson back there looking to maybe shoot the gap, but there's not a gap there. Not much. Holcomb's still putting power down on the inside.
Ooh, Dickert getting the wall.
Got Chip Dickert back there in the wall. Does not bring out a yellow. Ooh, Holcomb, you know, helping Temples here a little bit, but things starting to open up for Wolfson down on the inside. Temple's going to lose the handle. Got to step in line. Looking to the inside of Wolfson's got to run. Going down into 3.
Beautiful crossover move there.
Yeah, it was, but man, they're close. Wolfson able to keep it up top and off the Temples. Temple slides up in front of Wilson. They head back down into one. It's going to be John Holcomb still with the advantage. Holcomb hanging on the fourth, just barely.
Oh!
Oh,
Holcomb into the wall hard.
I put the jinx on him. He's still hanging on. Keep digging, buddy. That's going to slot Philip Temples up to fourth. Here comes Jeff Sharp. Nothing's changed up front, folks. The top three are still the same. Matt LeBetcher, Donnie Moore, and Matt Hoos. Look at this string of modifieds.
This is what it's all about right here. Some great racing. Holcomb's like, help me, Rhonda. Except there's nobody in the field named Rhonda, so he's not going to get much help.
Ernie Brown with a wicked trip off of Ford just behind John Holcomb, and now he's got to run on Holcomb, looking to the inside.
Oh, he let him in line. I think Ernie felt like he had a bad angle in, so he figured he'd get out of it and try to get himself set first.
Big Joe Hasser and Mike Holloway back here fighting. Hasser's
Donnie
got
Moore
the
for
position
second.
on the inside. Donnie Moore fighting with Matt Hoos. Chris, we've got a lot of battling going on back here all the way through the back of the field. Mike Allen, Matt Shanoski involved in one right now. That's a battle back there for 14th place.
Yeah, and the one guy who's waiting for something to happen is J.R. Shepard, one lap down, involved in that incident just a little bit ago. He is sitting there one lap down. He's the only man a lap down, so he gets a caution. He could easily be back in his race, and as I say that, Mike Allen knocks the wall down and off too.
And Van LeBetcher.
Oh, trouble! Ernie Brown, Joe Hassert. No caution yet. They both are straight. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, because you know what? Something else has happened. Mike Holloway.
Yeah, looks like Big Joe got a little bit of a run on Ernie. And it's just a little bit of contact that sends Ernie around. Both of them down to the inside.
And then right up ahead, you're going to see Mike Holloway. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tesser gets a little piece. Holloway. Now let's watch on board here with Passer. Try and get a better idea. You see him get a run there, and just gets a little bit of a runs up on him and makes that contact.
Oh, and the words they did not want to hear in this field. JR's getting away by Shepard back to the lead lap.
And then just up in front of them, let's look at what happened with Holloway. Okay, here it is. Now Holloway coming down the front straight. And Tesser gets it. Yeah, Tesser gets in the back of him, climbs the wheel, and sends Holloway around. No contact. The yellow was already out.
I wonder if somebody didn't check up or... Well, no, because the caution didn't come out until he went spinning. So that's a very interesting situation.
Yeah, and another interesting situation is the one that gets J.R. Shepard back on the lead lap of this race, Chris.
Yeah, he's going to restart right now. I got him in the 16th position. So if he could get back to the top 10, that could be a big time. I know there's not such thing as like a win like that, but that could be a win in his book.
P8?
That could really be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking P8. That's the one he's shooting for at this point. 26 laps to go.
I don't know many drivers that would be shooting for P8. I mean, I can see him shooting for P1.
Yeah, but if P8 puts you on the pole next week, that's not a bad place to be, sir.
No, and I agree with that, but I think from this standpoint, where are you in the middle of the race thinking about, well, as long as I can get back to 8th? See what I'm saying?
Well, I see what you're saying, yeah, but I just look at the 25 laps to go and think about that string of modifieds we just saw there in that last run. Man, it's going to be awful tough.
Oh, it's going to be very tough.
Tough to make that many spots. It's going to be interesting. JR going to get a shot to do it, though. I mean, that's our two-time defending champ there. If anybody can do it, certainly we think he can.
Well, it's not going to help him. As I'm looking right now, he will start on the outside line. So he's still going to have to get down to the bottom and then work his way from there. It's funny because did he ever, or has he been? He just got the waiver. I was like, he's still a lap down on my books, but okay. Now I see why.
Yeah, I think they wait until the lights go out on the pace car. No,
I believe it's 2 to go.
Yeah.
So we'll ask the survey to the viewers here. Where do you think J.R. Shepherd will finish? Will he get to the top 10? Will he finish in the back? Can he get to the top 5? Can he win the thing? I think it's going to be fun to watch.
It's definitely going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to get them restarted here. Got a good field here. Still a lot of cars in this race. Let's run it down for you here. Matt LaVenture, your leader. Donnie Moore sitting in second. Matt Hoos in third. Phil Temple's fourth. Jeff Sharp up to fifth. Ben Wilson in sixth. John Holcomb, seventh. John's had a tough race. And Randy Tesser in eighth. Ralph Connor sitting there in ninth, battling for another pole opportunity. Matt Shinosky going to round out the top 10, Chris.
And I should mention real quickly before we go green, set your clocks back an hour tonight, people.
Here we go. The pace car is off. Matt LaVenture going to get back on it here. The virtual grip 80. Richmond. Here we go. LaVenture on it. Oh, man, Temple's already making noise back there, trying to split the middle. Heading into two.
Ooh, almost contact with Donnie Moore.
Phil Temple's not taking any prisoners tonight, man. I love it.
Hey, that's Saturday night short track racing. Take no prisoners. Drive it like you stole it. Use all the analogies. Drive it like an Uber driver. Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, well, Phil, hey, even ask trivia questions if you feel the need to do so, and give out a little candy in the meantime. Why not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, one car climbing a wall back there in the back. It was Shinowski, but he's going to continue on with 0-0.
That would be Matt. Although we would have had the confusion because I don't believe Tim did not make the race tonight.
He did not, and I should mention already J.R. Shepherd up to 13.
Oh, speaking of Donnie Moore with big trouble just behind Phil Temples. He gets up at the wall, coming down the back stretch.
Wow, look at that gaggle of cars. As Wolfs is going to drive it to the bottom.
Donnie Moore seems to be the odd man out right now. That car just continuing to fall. Good battle just behind him, though. That's between Wilson and Sharp.
John Holcomb there. How about Ralph working his way back up there, too? Ralph Connors.
Up front, the boys are trying to do a little bit better job.
Oh, Holcomb looks on the bottom. Connor's going to go around on the outside. Sorry, Sean.
No, that's okay. Holcomb's trouble this evening has been documented well. It's not been a smooth evening for him. He's just trying to save it.
Oh, Tesser in the wall.
Ouch.
Hey, by the way, J.R. Shepherd's up to 10th.
Absolute hornet's nest back there of SK Modifieds. John Holcomb fighting with Ralph Connor right now. Big Joe Hassard in that mix. Those three make it off of 4 across the start-finish line, practically all connected by a bumper or a tire.
Ralph Connor falling back. He's on the outside line. Donnie Moore almost getting the wall again.
Big Joe Hassard hanging on the 8th. Here comes J.R. Shepherd. Gets right under Connor.
He's up to 9th with 15 to go.
Yeah, 8th may not be good enough. Let's keep digging. Let's keep digging. Big Joe getting a heck of a run on John Holcomb right now as they head down the back into 3. The battle up front has not changed.
Hassard underneath of Holcomb.
Hassard setting him up for a big move here. Hassard looking hungry tonight. It's good to tell everybody the battle up front hasn't changed, other than LaVenture continues to open it up. But let's keep an eye on Big Joe Hassard here on the inside. Gonna bring J.R. Shepherd right along with him. They get under John Holcomb.
Oh, we got trouble. Chip Dickert and Randy Tesser.
Yeah, it was Dickert and Hessert. I'm sorry, Dickert and Randy Tesser. And unfortunately, Chris Eads with nowhere to go. He gets collected up in that also. Oh, what a great battle we had going on there in the middle of the field. We get that caution flag.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, yeah, it looked like Dickert and Tesser just kind of locked wheels, and then Eads just kind of drove in there.
Wow. So we're going to get to restart this race. After caution, there's the replay. Chris Eads just wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. Didn't have enough time to react to get out of the way of that. That's unfortunate. They're going to restart this race with less than 10 laps to go. Chris, it feels like we were here just a short time to go, dropping the green flag for the first time tonight. Here we are. We're going to restart, like I said, again, with less than 10 to go. With the way these cars have stacked up, I think the race behind the top three is anybody's to have. But the top three seem to have really been able to just separate from the rest of the field. And when I talk about the top three, LaVenture, Hoos, and Temples have set the tone here since that last restart. I'm wondering if Donnie Moore's got anything left to get in that battle. He's going to have to do it from the top side of the track. This next restart going to be really critical.
Yeah, it is, and Moore's going to start there in the 4th position, as you said, and let's check back to J.R. Shepard. 8th position for Shepard.
Yeah, so, well, there we go. And I intimated that was the best he could hope for. I'd say at this point, with the way he moved through the field like a hot knife through butter, there's more in store for J.R. Shepard before this race is over.
Well, I look at it like this. He was the guy 3rd in points, 3 points back. If this race ends right now, he loses 10 points to Matt LaVenture. Look at it like that. So I think in this, he doesn't need to worry about 8th place. He needs to go get as many spots as he can so he don't lose as many points. Start where you start next week. But you got 5 races left after tonight. Get the best finish you can now so you don't lose much. But that's just my thought.
No, it's a good thought to have, buddy. Nothing wrong with it. I like it. I like that thinking. Matt, who's playing games of LaVenture all in his mirror, gets right up on his bumper there. All right, here we go. Looks like we're getting everybody. No, we're going to take another trip around here. I thought we were getting ready to go side by side here, but we'll take another ride around and soak up the atmosphere in Richmond, Virginia. Chris, I got to say, good decision to bring him over here.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a fun race, and as soon as last week we said Richmond was next week, I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy that. And my first thought was you're going to have a lot of drafting and close racing, and that's what we've had, is cars on top of another and times really close together, and one guy leading the whole entire race for the most part. Matt LaVenture's led 54 out of a possible 71 laps, but it's been a very entertaining race, very competitive.
Well, I certainly missed you guys last week, and everybody here at Bootleg Racing League. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to get away for a week and do a little something else involved with iRacing. I was part of the 24-hour Le Mans, working in crew chief / spotter mode for all 24 hours of the race. Or let's say about 23:45.
Well, don't worry. We were picking on you all last week of how many mistakes you made on pit road and stuff, being a crew chief and spotter, and talked about how we'd never hire you.
Yeah, well, we've got some things in the works for Daytona in February, and I can assure you, any mistakes that were made have already been corrected and have been written into the script. Okay, sir. But here we go. Matt LaVenture going to lead him off. The pace car is in. LaVenture not going to waste any time. He's hard on it. Back on the hammer across the line. Down to the 1. Still your leader. Time is running out with 7 laps to go. Temples down on the inside of Matt Hoos. Off to a great start. They are battling. Here comes Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore bringing the pressure. Hoos going to get stuck up on the outside.
Not watching J.R. Shepard on the outside back here in the 8th position. He's going to be 9th now after this lap. Now's when it gets interesting because right now, yeah, I said you don't focus on 8th right now, but now you got 8-6 to go, and Holcomb gets turned, it looked like there.
Yeah, trouble for Holcomb, trouble for Matt Hoos. He gets dropped back to 4th.
That move actually helped Shepard up to 8th.
Matt couldn't seem to catch a break, but Phil Temple's now in 2nd. Does he have anything for the bench?
Trouble! Connor's in the wall. He's spinning.
Yep, and Connor did it all himself. That car just drove right up into the turn, just hits the concrete right front, eats it up.
Oh, we got a sidewinder.
That is not good. That car just kept turning right. Just into it, hard, rips the right front suspension all the way back practically.
Now the one guy I was about to make the comment for the wreck happened, Joe Hatzert was making the move for 5th when that caution came out. And John Holcomb doesn't know where to go. Connor's going to smack the wall and Holcomb's going to finish off the job.
And the bad night for John Holcomb just continues. That Lawrence Towing SK Modified just cursed this evening here at Richmond.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Now let's see if there's a wave round. If there's not a wave round, there's a chance we could go back racing here.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the lead lap from what I see here.
Yeah, this caution period's though been kind of long. I'm just not confident we're going to get it. Yeah, we'll have to go too wide here at the line when we come back around. If we do, we will get a restart. Oh, I hope they do. I really, really want to see this one finish under green.
Now, if they don't, let's look at it like this. LaVenture will win, but J.R. Shepard will finish 8th. And lights are on, Net. That's it. This race is over.
I'm afraid so. Wow. We'll go ahead and wait and make the official call when we get the official flag. But, you know, the person I feel bad for right now is Philip Temples. That dude was on a mission tonight, and I got to tell you, I think he was on his way to maybe pulling it off. I don't know where Matt Hoos is going. He just jumped up by the pace car. You got to hold up and get back in line. Let's talk a little bit about what J.R. Shepard was able to accomplish. He got to 8th, Chris.
He did. He's going to lose about 6 or 7 points, it looks like. He's going to lose only about 5 points to Donnie Moore, but he's going to lose a good 7 or 8 to Matt LaVenture, and that's going to be huge here. He's going to sit probably when it's all over with about 8 or 9 back in the points championship, but thankfully he's got 5 races left. But LaVenture for sure has looked like somebody that's pretty hard to beat.
Well, he'll have 5 races left, and he'll have a pole starting position next week to start. He'll get staked with that. So, you know, your best chance at a victory is to get at least, again, the best advantage you can. He's been given it. Call it his immunity idol, if you will. He's got it, and he'll be ready to go next week. But what a drive by Matt LaVenture tonight. It was certainly an adventure out here at Richmond, but that car was just bad, fast, and hooked up. And so was the one right behind him. Again, my hat's off to Philip Temples. He had speed here I didn't know he had, and it looked good this evening. And that is the checkered flag. Fireworks blast off. Matt LaVenture is your winner, Chris, here in the Virtual Grip 80 at Richmond International Raceway.
That's going to be LaVenture's 3rd win of the season as he takes the lead in that category. So just shows why he's been one of the competitors up there at the top, as he's definitely clicking off the wins.
Yes, he is. Matt LaVenture, a hot shoe in the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series, and hasn't been here long, but he's been impressive when he's been here. And Phil Temples with a big 2nd place finish. Donnie Moore finishes 3rd tonight. That's a pretty solid podium on a Saturday night. Our inaugural race here at Richmond. And man, that was a lot of fun. There's LaVenture going to light him up a little bit, take his victory celebration. And yeah, these modifieds don't quite burn him out like some of the other cars do, but he's going to give it a shot. Plenty of track there to get it done, and now he's getting a chance to light them up there for you. Tell you what, we'll let him light those up. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and we'll get right back at you here in a moment on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel here from Richmond International Raceway. Well, we took a little bit of a break, got a breather. Back here at Richmond International Raceway, we just knocked out the Virtual Grip 80 here with the Loris Towing. SK Outlaw Modifieds here tonight, Saturday night short track racing in America. Welcome back, everybody. Let's run down the results of this great race this evening. Matt LaVenture was your big winner. Third one this season. Philip Temple's had a heck of a run. Finishes second tonight. Donnie Moore going to settle for third. Matt Hoos in fourth. Jeff Sharp brings her home fifth. Big Joe Hazard finishes in sixth place tonight. Going to be starting up near the front next week. Ben Wilson finishes seventh. J.R. Shepard with that big old eighth place spot. Going to start on the pole next week. Mike Holloway in ninth. John Holcomb can't crack the top eight. Tough night for him. Going to finish 10th.
And looking at the rest of the 18-car field that started tonight's race, Matt Shanowski finishing 11th, Mike Allen 12th, Ernie Brown going to finish 13th, Randy Tesser going to finish 14th, Chip Dickert, Ralph Connor, the pole sitter involved in that last lap wreck there, finishing 16th. Chris Eads and Lowell Jewell going to round out your 18-car field.
Well, Chris, I'll tell you what, that was quite a race. I want to talk to Matt LaVenture because, boy, he really laid it on tonight. Matt, let's get him into the right booth here. Matt, big win for you, sir. Number 3 on the season. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. What a night. We get a good starting spot and got out and clean air early, and that was the whole difference. I saw everybody, a bunch of fast guys back there duking, and we just tried to stay as far away from that as we could. That clean air was all the difference.
Yeah, well, and I was going to bring that up with you immediately. Is the fact that that's really all you had to fight with for most of the evening was the clean air. This was our first time here in at Richmond. What did it feel like out there in the clean air? How fast was it, man?
The car was extremely fast, very momentum based. You know that SK versus the Tour is, but just about clicking lines nice and clean and making sure that we lined up on all the apexes we need to. And as the run went on, the apex got a little bit later and on throttle a little bit later, and we had a easy job clean because I saw what was going on with all those fast guys behind us, and just that little bit extra downforce maybe, or not having a fight with the nose was the difference.
Well, you're going to get a big shot in the arm with the points this evening. Our rough calculations have you going to the top of the points lead. Got to feel pretty happy about that with just 5 to go.
Yeah, I feel great. It's going to be real close with Don. He had a great night. We had a good race there, fighting it out. I feel terrible for JR. I know I saw him behind me, and there was some wall contact, and a car turned across him, but he came back through there just like we knew he would. He might have gone down a lap or two early in the race, but I knew he was going to be a factor there at the end, and he drove a great race to get back there. And Phil Temples tonight, just awesome run. And that the restarts I had a hour-long heart attack pretty much during that thing.
Yeah, what was up with Phil tonight? Where'd that dude come from, man? Phil had a great night. He was in your mirror all night, man.
He was a man possessed tonight. The car must have felt the right way, or he was just having a stellar night, because he was I'd venture to say the fastest car on the track. If he had some clean air with us, he did a great job though.
How'd you do in the super lights tonight?
Didn't make it, actually. I rushed in for practice here at 9, but didn't make that race.
Well, you made it here, and we're glad you did, because it got you another big win here, searching for your first championship here in the Lawrence Towing SK Modifieds. And Matt, congratulations. We'll see you next week, my friend.
Thanks. Real quick, too, virtualgrip.net for tonight. Thank you so much for putting the race on. I think everybody had a good time. Lawrence Towing, awesome job. Lowell and Matt Hoos. And then my cranky team, we worked on it this week, and I really appreciate those guys' help.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you, certainly. Again, great win for Matt LaVenture tonight, and we're going to remember that one as we get ready to get down to this championship battle, Chris. But I think it's time for you to talk to our second-place finisher tonight, and that was Phil Temples. And we got to find out what was going on with him. Chris, take it away with Phil.
Yeah, that boy was driving it like he had some moonshine in the back of the car tonight. But Phil Temples, great run for you in the 19 car this evening, a second-place run. What was the difference with you and LaVenture there?
I didn't catch him with enough time to go. I started 12th, and he was a lot higher up than what I was.
And that was the more impressive part, Phil, is you started back in 12th. You were up to the top 5 before the first caution came out. Was it just the car itself? Were you just feeling adapted to Richmond? What was it that helped you propel yourself up there?
I was just running, man. I was trying to save my stuff. But if we'd had a little bit longer run there at the end, I think I would have had something for Matt. But we didn't, and I'll take second. It's like a win for me after this season.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've had your struggles. I've seen you all over the place, flipping, spinning, running over people, unfortunately. I've seen it all. Everything's happened to you this season. That's got to feel good to get the second place tonight, so it's like, all right, good, the monkey's off the back now.
Well, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we're very happy for you, and we're glad to see you at a second place run tonight, because you definitely showed you were one of the faster cars out there and might have gave LaVenture a run for his money. But we definitely congratulate you on your second, and you can send a shout out whoever you like to.
Well, I'd like to thank Lawrence Towing and Virtual Grip.
Well, Phil Temple's finishing in the second position. Sean, he's definitely happy about that. He's had his tough runs throughout the season, but congrats to him, and I believe you have our third place finisher.
I do. It's my old friend Donnie Moore. Donnie, another great run for you tonight, man. You got to be pretty happy with the result this evening.
Yep, I'll take a third. Geez, you got to keep trying to get them top threes, and see where we land. It's too bad to see JR on his roof. He had to call Lawrence Towing tonight. That's too bad for him.
Yeah, he had to dial up old Lawrence Towing this evening, and not getting a chance to talk to him. I wonder if he had. Well, obviously he didn't run out of fuel. I just wonder if he had less fuel. Because we talked about that little bug we've experienced before, and of course, that was the first thing that went on my mind when we saw him upside down is, my word, how much fuel is this guy going to come back on the track with?
Yeah, it's been interesting to see how much fuel he had left. Yeah. But that was quite a race. Geez, a lot of fun, a lot of fast guys. I'm sure Matt LaVenture said he had clean air. That's why he won. But
yeah, well,
you and I both know he's just so fast and smooth.
Tell us a little bit about your first trip in here to Richmond this evening. What did it feel like, the speed of the car here on this track?
My first two races with the late model and super late models didn't go well at all. I was overdriving the car and just having a tough time, but figured it out by the SKs. I just love driving the SKs, so I don't know. I wouldn't want to come back. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay, so you're not ready to come back this season for the finale?
No, I just soon see the big tracks off anyway. I like the short tracks where you can't breathe.
I gotta be honest, there wasn't a lot of breathing tonight. Everybody just seemed to be really hooked up nose to tail throughout the field. It was a great race to watch, and you put on another good one for us this evening, and I think you might slip back in the points to Matt. We don't have any official totals yet, but it's going to be close, and it looks like we've got another close championship battle going with 5 to go.
Yeah, no kidding. It'll probably be, it's actually a virtual tie right now. Story of my life here with these championships, a virtual tie. So, hey, before I forget to, virtualgrip.net, so hats off to them for sponsoring us.
Yeah, happy to have them on board as our sponsor tonight. And Donnie, I know you'd probably like to thank one more sponsor that you ride with every week on that Irwin Tools machine.
Oh, yeah, Sean, thanks. I love the SPCA, and adopt a pet from the SPCA and spay and neuter your pets. Thanks, Sean.
All right, and thank you to Donnie Moore. I'm sure we'll see him again next week, and we'll probably see him up somewhere near the front before the race is over, Chris. But I got to be honest, I'm a big fan of this track, big fan of this race tonight. Richmond International Raceway lived up to its, it lived up to the hype as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, there's a reason why it's one of America's premier short tracks at Richmond tonight. Great racing there, and you heard Donnie say it, the virtual tie, and I made the joke at the beginning. I said, can these points get any tighter? Yeah, they can when it's all over with. So we've got definitely a fun 5-race schedule coming up here in the next 5 weeks, and we'll have to see. This championship's going to come down to that last lap.
Yeah, they're going to keep my advocates pretty busy here as we head into the end of the season. But Chris, thank you so much for being on board tonight. Let's talk about what's coming up here in 2017 in the Bootleg Racing League. Tuesday nights, they're looking to run dirt. The Lawrence Towing Late Model Dirt Series is going to be open to all classes D and above. There's a waiting list currently, but guess what? Go to the bootlegracingleague.com, find out about it. They're taking more applications. They're still looking for more sponsors, too. They'd love to get you on board for a race, sponsor one of their series. Find them at bootlegracingleague.com/sponsorship. A lot of information there for you to read. Let's thank, though, Lawrence Towing. They service the Indianapolis, Indiana area and the neighboring communities. And listen, if you find yourself in need of a tow, Lawrence Towing is the way to go. Now, tonight, Virtual Grip Network was the sponsor of this race, the Virtual Grip 80 from Richmond International Raceway, and they are a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing. At virtualgrip.net, you can stay up to date on what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Bonpon GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Get a hold of them again at virtualgrip.net. They're also on Facebook /Virtual Grip, Chris.
And thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more info about the BRL, you can always go to facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League or bootlegracingleague.com.
And the original music you've heard here on today's broadcast is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen right now for how to contact each of them.
And of course, you can, thanks to the companies, the equipment, and software that you see on the screen that we use to help broadcast it, Sean.
And the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series returns next week. Like I did that, Chris? November 5th. No, I'm sorry, November 12th.
Wow.
Yes, I did that to myself. For the Outlaw 100 from Irwindale Speedway. Now listen, if you've been on this iRacing service for a while, you know Irwindale has got a couple of different configurations. Next week, we're on the inner loop, Chris. The inner loop, not the outer loop.
We were there last season too on the inner, so that should be very interesting. But if you need more info about the GSRC events, you can always go to globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and on Facebook at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel.
You know what? I think we're just going to leave this place a mess tonight. I'm just not interested in cleaning up this evening. It's been a long day. We're on the World Cup iRacing, and I think I'll just come back in the morning, clean things up. I'll leave the hotel, get over here early. We'll clean it all up then. But I'll tell you what, until we see you next week, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.